Summer Humanities Institute at Stanford. This program was co-founded by Deborah Satz, who's Dean of the School of Humanities and Sciences at Stanford, together with some of the premier Stanford faculty who teach in history and philosophy and literature. Their motivation was to counter the impressions that a lot of people have of Stanford being a techie school. So Stanford is well known for its work in engineering and computer science, also in professional fields. It has a world-class medical school, a world-class law school, a world-class business school. And a lot of people aren't aware that Stanford is among the best in the world in many, many subjects in the social sciences and in the humanities. So things like philosophy and literature and history, as well as in sociology and psychology and many others. And Stanford wants to draw students who have those interests. A lot of students who have curiosity in the humanities might think of other universities, which I won't name at the moment, but they might think that they're going to find people that are better fit for those subjects at somewhere else. But Stanford turns out to be a great place for it. So this program has been very successful. It's very selective, and we get great students who have these interests, and they get to learn from some of the best faculty at Stanford. So this program has a really cool design to it, and it continues to be online, but we're hoping that this, along with SUMAC, will be back in person in 2023. Okay, you can go to the next slide. So Stanford AI for All has been around since about 2015, and it has a great story. And I have more stories than I have time to tell, but I'll point out that it's co-founded by an alum of Stanford Math Camp, Professor Olga Rusakowski, now at Princeton University, got her PhD at Stanford, and she was an undergraduate at Stanford, but she attended SUMAC in 2001, over 20 years ago. And as she was finishing up her PhD here, she came to me and proposed that, together with her thesis advisor, Professor Fei-Fei Li, a very famous woman in computer vision, a leader in technology, and somebody who has had a great impact on the field. And the two of them proposed that we start a program modeled after CMAC, but in artificial intelligence, and that we have the program designed to help increase pathways to young women and underrepresented minorities, not just in the field of AI, but in the leadership of the field. And Fei-Fei Li, who's somebody who's been the director of the Stanford Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, she's been a chief scientist at Google, and she has many other accomplishments, finds herself in a world with very few women at that high leadership level, not just at the kind of level of being in the workplace, but in particular among the leaders. She knows many CEOs and people at the top of their game, and they too often there's not very much representation there in terms of minorities and women. So we designed the program to have pathways for people to change this, as well as change the direction of the field, and to make AI technology be more for the benefit of humanity. And the way that these go hand in hand is by bringing in diversity in the leadership. You'll create diversity of thought, which will help make the technology better for more people. And that's the idea. And this program ended up being a model for similar programs at other universities. We took AI for All and spun it out from Stanford into a national nonprofit that now offers AI for All programs at 16 universities across the country. So we're broadening that impact through this program that started at Stanford. Okay, next slide, please. And so I wanted to mention, this at least one program that works with you. So I mentioned these programs at Stanford, but it's important to know there are programs offered by other universities and by private companies and all over the place. So Stanford is one of the players in this pre-collegiate space. I'll mention a few university programs. The Johns Hopkins CTY program is the largest that I know of, in particular a university-based program that's selected for students that are talented and curious and passionate about learning. And Johns Hopkins has in-person programs at university campuses across the country, as well as lots and lots of online programs. So a great place to look if you want to explore different subjects in these ways. Now, Northwestern Center for Talented Development is a smaller version that is similarly selecting students who are identified as talented and who want to explore subjects more deeply. Cosmos is a program that is based in California that is operated by the University of California system. It's now at 4 campuses in California, the University of UC Davis, UC Irvine, UC San Diego. Cosmos stands for the California State Summer School of Mathematics and Sciences, and it provides great ways for students to have a residential experience with others, again, who have interests in the same things that they do. At the bottom, I just mentioned a few programs that are privately run that provide these same kinds of academic enrichment. There's Education Unlimited, which has programs at several campuses in the country. Digital Media Academy, which was, along with another one I didn't list here, ID Tech, offers programs in technology nationally. I don't know if they have anything in person at the moment, but they also have lots of online content. And I just mentioned briefly pre-collegiate pathways because that's something I've been involved in. It's too new to have anything for you at this point, but we're working on developing programs that are also going to serve in this academic enrichment space. But to make a, just to point out here, these are just a small sample of what's out there. If you look around, you can find that there are many, many different kinds of offerings in the different categories that I mentioned earlier. All right, if you go to the next slide, please. And I'll point out there are many math camps that have a long history. I'm very proud of CMAC, and it's going on its 28th year. But there are programs that have been around much longer. And I am familiar with the leadership of all of these programs. I know their directors, and I know what they're all about. I'll point out that on the upper right, the Ross Mathematics program originated at Ohio State University about, I think, 80 years ago or 70 years ago, quite a long time ago, in the 1950s, okay? And it was founded by Arnold Ross, who was a mathematician who wanted to introduce high school students to advanced mathematics. And he inspired many people who have gone on to faculty positions at top universities. And some of them have created their own math camps. So Promise on the upper left, which was founded by Glenn Stevens in the late 80s, program in mathematics for young scientists that's based at Boston College. This program is a version of the Ross program, and it was founded by a student of Arnold Ross. Math Path is a program for younger students. Math Camp down there on the bottom left is short for the Canada USA Math Camp, which takes place on different campuses around the country. And it has a great way of introducing students to a range of subjects in mathematics. In the middle there, we have MIT Primes, which is based at MIT and has both year-round and summer programs. Below that, HCSSIM, and if you rotate that 180 degrees, it looks the same, but that stands for Hampshire College Summer School in Mathematics, which is based on Hampshire College. Awesome Math is a more contest-based math camp. And then Mathly is a program that's on the East Coast that, again, is for students who are mathematically talented and curious. And there are others among these, but these are ones where the content is taught at a very high level. They're highly selective, great students who have a range of interests. Okay, we can go to the next slide now. So just a little bit about why you might want to do a math camp or what the impacts might be. Everybody, you know through your schooling and what you hear from your teachers, your parents, mathematics is important no matter what you do later on. And so math talent identification is valuable in the academic journey. So we know that math is central in the sciences, but it's also in the social sciences. If you're going into engineering, but wherever you go, mathematics is going to play a role. It's also that studying mathematics contributes to important skills like problem solving, logical reasoning, and abstract thinking. And by developing those skills, you will be able to contribute in other ways in other fields. These are all important skills to have. And overall, math provides a way to demonstrate talent. So people who are talented in math are often recognized for it, and that will help them advance in their academic journeys. So math isn't for everybody, but for the students who enjoy it, it's great to look for ways to do that further. So here are some ways to further your mathematical journey in addition to the math camps I mentioned earlier. And I'll say just generally, make it your own, find your own way to explore, follow your passion and your talent, and look for resources that can help you find the limits of your capabilities, allow you to realize your potential, allow you to engage, like I was talking about earlier, in learning in meaningful ways, and to enjoy what you're doing. To be, the 3 C's I started with: curiosity, challenge, and community. Ways for you to explore your curiosities, to challenge yourself, to find your limits, and to be in a community